Okay, our telescope is gone.
This is where the telescope mounts.
We do not have a telescope. We need to get a telescope. I do not know what happened to the telescope. I believe Aunt Catherine knows where the telescope is. And if she doesn't, I will be sending a letter to Mr. Norton about his missing calling card. So all the way back inside the house now. What? What? Apparently I opened the door and then shut the door. Okay, there we go. Got the door to work that time. It's so difficult to make doors work, especially when none of these doors appear to have doorknobs that I can turn. They all just are push doors. It's most distressing.
How are you, Aunt Catherine?
Very well, thank you. How have you been?
Very well also.
Wow, we've got a lot we can talk about. I got a letter from Mother yesterday.
I received a letter from Mother today.
How is your mother doing?
Very well. In the letter, she asked me to look up the date on the will of Mr. Lamley for Father.
Did she now?
Do you know whatever became of Mr. Lamley's son? I can remember so little of the whole affair.
That was a long time ago. Mr. Lamley became ill while his son was in India and made his will. If I remember correctly, his son died in the plague in India. It was a very difficult time for India. Many families lost loved ones.
I noticed in the will that his estate was to be held in trust for 25 years.
When Mr. Lamley made out his will, he was not on particularly good terms with his son and had not heard from him for several years. So he included that clause to provide time for an heir to come forward. But I suppose that was not needed, as his son died in the plague not long after Mr. Lamley died.
That is so sad that he had no heirs.
They were good friends and a good family. It is a loss to all of us. What is worse is that since there are no heirs, the estate will eventually be entailed away to the heirs of Mr. Lamley's sister, which would mean that Clement could ultimately inherit the estate, an event no one would have hoped for.
Indeed.
Ah, so that's who Mr. Lamley is. He's a random person, and we're trying to figure out who deserves to inherit his estate. Gee, I sure hope he's secretly related to the orphan, Miss Allen. Then she could get all of his money.
That is a lovely scarf you are working on.
Thank you. I rarely enjoy needlework.
Yes, it's really great.
Definitely shows. Your work is always so delicate.
Yes, I have this scarf I would like to finish before the Reverend's wife stops by. She is collecting for the poor, and this is the last thing I have to do.
I noticed that the telescope is missing from the lantern tower.
I understand that it was sent to be cleaned. Giles told me earlier that it had been returned just today. If you would like to finish this scarf for me, I will check with Giles and see where he has placed it.
Thank you. That'd be excellent.
Excellent, so we're going to be scarfing. Pretty simple,
I
just
don't think that's the right color.
click everywhere.
I don't think that's the right color.
And if you're wrong, Jane just says, hey, you can't do it.
I don't think that's the right color.
Alright, and everything else must be blue.
That looks done.
Yeah.
Jane, we are in luck. Giles has placed the telescope in the entrance, so you can take it whenever you would like.
That is great news. Also, I have finished your scarf.
What beautiful needle wisdom. I couldn't have done better myself.
That is certainly high praise coming from you.
We are now completely ready for the Reverend's wife when she comes.
As all is prepared, I will look to the telescope now. Be seeing you.
Take care.
I like how the needlework pattern that's in front of her changed colors, you know, as soon as we finished it. So check this out, we've got the telescope box.
This is just what I need to open the wooden crate.
And I solved a puzzle that we're not actually supposed to solve yet. Don't worry, it'll make sense. In a moment, we've got the telescope here. We're gonna take the telescope to the lantern. Yeah, I am like 90% sure that the orphan Miss Allen is going to be the one to inherit the estate. Because we can't have the estate go to Clement, right? And we have a poor orphan girl who needs an estate so she can marry Mr. Radcliffe. Alright, so what you have to do here is put the telescope down.
This is nailed shut. I need a lever to open it.
And what you're supposed to do is go all the way back to the entranceway in order to grab this lever. But I saved time by grabbing the lever ahead of time. So that's what I meant when I said, hey, I solved the puzzle before I was supposed to do it. So we've got the telescope now. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
There. That looks perfect. Insufferable telescope.
Insufferable. So this is going to be a challenge. We need to figure out how to turn the telescope. Does that work? No. Okay, what about now? What about now? No, what about now? Basically, you just have to try everything until you get the correct one. There's really no other way to solve this challenge. Come on, you can do it, Jane.
That did it.
Yay!
It's stuck.
Oh, now we have to do the exact same thing here.
Tis stuck.
So let's move this thing all the way counterclockwise.
Tis stuck.
And then just, okay, now we move it clockwise once.
Tis stuck.
Now we move it clockwise once.
Tis stuck.
And yeah, this is how you solve the puzzle. Now we're gonna move it clockwise again.
Tis stuck.
I think I moved it counterclockwise accidentally. There we go, now we can move it. And now, final puzzle, adjusting the lens so we can see things. No. No. There we go. Beautiful. So we have a working telescope and another puzzle. We need to figure out where to aim the telescope because we want to actually see something. So again, just try out every position until you find the one you're looking for. The one we're looking for will be looking at a building. We'll be able to look through a building. Okay. Is that it? No. Okay, looks like I moved it all the way to the left. Let's move it to the right a little bit. Eventually we'll find it, I swear. The monster telescope puzzle. My goodness. I preferred the needlework puzzle. I was able to solve that puzzle quite easily. Oh, man. Come on, building, where are you? There it is! Okay, so here's the building, and now we want to lower the telescope so we can see the bottom of the building. So, down one. Not quite low enough, so down two. Okay, yeah. Okay, it doesn't look like I move it down anymore, so...
What's this? It looks like someone is at the hunting lodge.
Ha
Wonder
ha!
who that could be. We haven't been at the hunting lodge in quite some time. I think it is time I rode over there and checked it out.
So, now we can actually visit the hunting lodge when we go out riding on our horse! Hooray!